Is Israel using starvation as a weapon of war, or is Hamas blocking aid as Israel claims?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me on, and it's nice to debate my adversary and maybe one day friend, Cenk. I would ask Cenk at the beginning of this debate, let's try to have a somewhat civilized debate. In the last debate that we did, he called me a Nazi, bulging sinews from his neck, and let's just try to keep this a little bit civil. I'm not a Nazi, and if that's the way this is going to go, I will fight you, but it's the detriment to the audience. So let me address the question. Israel is not only not using starvation as a tactic of war. Israel is the first country in history to actually provide food, water, and all the necessities to its enemy. Remember that the Palestinian people, who are innocent, but they still elected Hamas as their representative. Since then, they've been suppressed by Hamas. Israel has delivered 2 million tons of food. That is the equivalent of what the Allies delivered in the Berlin airlift under President Truman between 1947 and 1951, when Stalin cut off all land routes into West Berlin. It is being hijacked by Hamas. There are videos of Hamas shooting the people who gathered at the distribution points. Hamas is taking 80% of the food for their fighters. 2 million tons of food. Where the hell did it go? Then you have the other issue, that the United Nations is refusing to allow the IDF to escort them and protect them militarily. The UN hates Israel. We know that so many of the employees of the UN were actually on the Hamas payroll. They were actually terrorists who participated in the October 7th massacres. And they're insisting that only the blue police of Hamas, which are the terrorists, escort them in. So you have all this food rotting. There was a Wall Street Journal, a first-hand report of a reporter who said there's crushed carrots, there's crushed peas, all these baby formulas. They're sitting and baking in the sun as the UN says to the IDF, you cannot distribute it. Now, why is that? Because the more of our innocent Palestinian brothers die in Gaza, the more people like Cenk can falsely accuse me. How disgusting is that? Of being a Nazi. I'm in Budapest right now, where 600,000 Jews were killed by the Nazis. And you know what, Cenk? You owe me a frickin' apology. And if you were human in the slightest, you would finally deliver it. Because the name of your show is Young Turks, who perpetrated the Armenian genocide. It's like my calling my show the Gestapo or the SS. That's disgusting, and you should be ashamed. And one more thing. The New York Times now admits that they lied on their front page. They put a picture of an emaciated, starving Palestinian child 1 week ago on Wednesday on their front page. Later, they were forced to admit the child had muscular dystrophy. He was born with a muscle disorder. That's why he's emaciated. There's a picture of his brother right next to him, which the UN cropped out. He is completely normal. There's a picture of his mother holding her. She is completely normal. There is no starvation in Gaza except for the starvation of Hamas stealing the food. Finally, we know there is starvation in Gaza of Jews who are truly emaciated and were forced by Hamas to dig their own graves in Gaza. Cenk has a show named after a group that killed 3 million people in the true genocide. Cenk, you're an embarrassment. Change the damn name of your show. Thank you.
Allow Cenk to respond now.